welcome you inside the KFC Yum Center, where right now it's home to the #2 ranked team in the country, the Louisville Cardinals, as they welcome in the University of South Carolina Upstate. Hi everyone, alongside Dan Bonner, I'm Jay Alter. Well, it's early, but right now, Dan, nobody in the entire country is shooting the ball better than this Louisville team.
Well, and I'm telling you what, since the object of the game is to score more points than the other guy, it helps that Louisville, it leads the country in field goal percentage, leads the ACC in free throw percentage, or in three-point percentage, and it's not just one or two guys doing it. They have incredible depth in their shooting ability. Look at that there. Their top 5 scorers, everybody shooting more than 53%. Dwayne Sutton at 77. He's only missed 5 shots all year. Ryan McMahon actually shooting 59% from 3. Low man on the totem pole there, Jordan Wara, 54%. That's not too shabby, and I'm telling you, he's had a great 4 games so far. The preseason ACC Player of the Year has not disappointed.
When he's shooting worst of your 5, it's a pretty good starting 5 for Chris Mack in Louisville. Cardinals in white, Spartans in green, and we are underway. Louisville up to #2 in the polls. That's their highest ranking since 2013.
They do a great job moving their players and moving the ball. And when you do that, you tend to get extra opportunities. And Sutton is really doing a great job. He just can't control it.
They have a size advantage, tried to take advantage on the first possession, but could not cash in. No doubt about it, Dan. This on paper, huge mismatch. The Spartans are spare, only shooting 33% against Division I opponents this season.
They have a tough time shooting it from the perimeter. They like to take the ball inside, but that's going to be hard against this Louisville size.
Already only 4 seconds on the shot clock. Have to hurry. Over to Bruner for a 3. And he hits it. That's a one way to get started when you're on the road.
That is a great job. They come in as a team shooting 25% from beyond the arc. That is a great way to get going.
A young team, 1 freshman and 4 sophomores in the starting lineup, but it's the freshman Tommy Bruner who knocks down the first shot of the game.
Man-to-man defense for USC Upstate.
And that gives Louisville a huge edge, at least on paper. And that's the opening score for the ACC preseason Player of the Year, Wara.
And that's the kind of thing that we've seen from this Louisville offense. Even when somebody's dribbling the ball, the other guys aren't standing there watching. The defense went to Sutton and Wara with a nice cut through the lane. Really good pass.
Another triple, and it knocks down Dalvin White that time. 2 shots, 2 threes. And USC Upstate up early, 6-2.
Dalvin White coming in a 20% three-point shooter.
Don't listen to us. We told you how poorly the team's shooting. And clearly not playing with any fear against the #2 team in the country. Wara again, showing off a mid-range game, and he knocks it down.
Wara has every part of a game that you'd want to have. He can stand out there and shoot the 3. He can drive the ball. He can shoot it in the mid-range. He can play with his back to the basket. He is an extremely versatile player. Now Louisville in their man-to-man defense, they play with what has become known as pack line principles. They try to make it difficult for you to get inside.
Made it very difficult there. Long
this is
rebound.
a heck of a play.
Great hustle from Perry. Won't end up with possession, but you said it.
Well, what happens is everybody from USC Upstate is falling back, and they're going to get the ball easily, except Perry doesn't give up on it.
You mentioned it, this defense so challenging for every team in the country, but especially against a Spartans team that came in shooting so poorly. They're going to keep him on the perimeter for the most part. Hammond falling back, can't get that one to go.
And that's what USC Upstate wants to do. They want to get inside. They want to get that mid-range shot, but it's going to be hard to score their points that way against this Louisville defense.
Here's Wara. He has all 4 for the Cardinals so far. Goes into traffic, and a charge is called against Jordan Wara.
Well, Wara, we talked about all the things he can do, but that time tries to do a little bit too much. He's got the opening, and what he needs to do is stop there and dump the ball off to Enoch. Enoch could have helped him out by cutting to the basket.
All of the possessions USC Upstate has taken down pretty much to the wire. 3 with 5 on the timer goes begging.
So far, USC Upstate has been able to force Louisville to play in the half court.
I'm surprised, Dan, they really have not been able to take advantage of a clear size advantage they have. And fearless the other way, that's Tommy Bruner, the freshman again.
Well, Bruner has hit the three, driven the ball to the basket, and you pointed it out, Jay, they're not afraid.
Second-year head coach Dave Dickerson said his team, they came in wide-eyed. Wow, we're playing in the KFC Yum Center. That was a shoot-around. Now they're not wide-eyed at all, playing maybe their best basketball in the first 4 minutes of this game. Offensive rebound. Enoch can't make him pay, though. Right back to Bruner. He's got the hot hand to start. Tip drill, but it's a takeaway for the Cardinals. Up to Wara. Draws the foul, had poor positioning, and he'll head to the line when we come back. Now USC Upstate did not come in with much of a chance, but they're up 8-4 early.
All right, Jordan, let's run the fast break. You have to choose another player's game that you want to have. What player would you choose?
I'd probably say Klay Thompson.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Strawberry.
Biggest fear?
Guinea pigs. Just being around a guinea pig scares me.
If you do have the ball at the end of a game, maybe a guinea pig would be a good way to guard you.
Alongside Dan Bonner, I'm Gerald. They're guinea pigs. That is a new one.
Well, it is, and you cannot admit something like that in public.
Every ACC student section of the country is going to come to the games with guinea pigs. Or at least they should. There's Jordan Wara. One thing he's not fearful of is putting the ball in the basket.
Well, he's got, of course, all 4 points tonight. And one of the things that you just saw, he got out in transition and got the foul. And that's something that Louisville has not been able to do so far in this game. USC Upstate has done a nice job taking care of the ball. At times they've had problems with turnovers, but they only have 1 turnover so far.
Wara gets the second foul shot, and he's got all 5 points. The rest of the team shooting 0 for 4 from the floor. Dan, we told everybody that Louisville coming into the game the best shooting team percentage-wise in the entire nation, but a cold start thus far, and it's given Upstate an early lead.
But you notice that Upstate really is having a hard time getting the ball inside that defense. Louisville doing a really nice job keeping them on the perimeter.
Bruner tries to drive in, out of control shot, well off the mark. Great hustle. Perry pushes the tempo immediately. Here's Wara skying and slamming.
And that's where Louisville can be so dangerous. They take their defense, they create an opportunity, and they immediately turn it into a transition basket. That was a really good defensive play by Ryan McMahon that sparked that whole thing.
Jordan Wara has all 7 to start this game for the Cardinals. Again, shot clock under 10 like it's been on every possession for Upstate. Hammond tries his bucket of 3, rattles in and out.
If that's the kind of shot that you're going to get, it's going to be a tough shooting night.
And they made the first 2 threes, but since then, they've been stuck on that perimeter, and it's gone begging. Wara trying to stay hot. Offensive rebound, bobbled around. Sutton emerges. Kick down McMahon. He's got it.
Boy, when he has that much time, you may as well just write it down in the book. That was a great play by Sutton inside. He wasn't able to make a really good pass because of all the pressure, but McMahon really took his time. Lined that one up and drilled it.
Now shooting at 60% from 3 on the season. And he came in shooting a high mark, but he has been on fire to start this year.
When Perry pointing at his guys telling him, go.
McMahon tries another and buries him. Ryan McMahon back-to-back threes.
You cannot leave him alone in transition. you have to get back and you have to find him first, because he's as dangerous as anybody in the country in the transition with the transition three.
Right now, the Spartans have no answer to this pack line defense for Louisville. They cannot penetrate at all right now.
Look at Perry move down there and cut his man off.
3 on the timer, a heave, and once again off the mark, whose Upstate is really cooled off. Wara, too much on that one. Trying to extend this 9-0 Louisville run.
Louisville in the man-to-man. They're doing a great job putting pressure on the perimeter, but continuing to keep the ball from going inside.
Perry almost with another steal. He's been really active tonight. Dumps inside the Zink, and Nevin Zink, the sophomore, heads to the foul line.
That's a good, tough play by the Spartans. They were able to get some penetration that time. McMahon a little late coming over to help out. Picks up the foul.
It's a really young team. They struggled mightily a season ago in their first year in the Big South now. Bad timing, and timing is everything, but it is the best year in conference history, according to KenPom, for the Big South.
Well, so great timing for the Big South.
Right.
But bad timing for USC Upstate.
Dave Dickerson says we've got a young team, but he knows he came in eyes wide open. This is a big rebuilding project, and he seems up for the task.
Well, and keep in mind that his rebuilding project does not involve him building a team that can beat Louisville on a consistent basis. His rebuilding project involves building a team that can be competitive in the Big South.
8 minutes into this game, they have been competitive with Louisville, at least on the scoreboard, only trailing by 3. Ryan McMahon's got back-to-back threes for this Cardinals team. A great feed, and Dwayne Sutton pays it off.
McMahon hits a couple of threes, so now the Spartans think, well, we got to get out there and guard him, so 2 guys go with him. Sutton senses that his guy goes with him, and off he goes to the basket.
A timeout taken.
Yeah, Dave Dickerson asked for that timeout.
We'll step aside as well. Cardinals starting to feel it. The transition game has been dynamite. Only up 5, but really starting to hit their stride. More than 8 minutes gone by in this first half, and Dave Dickerson's team have accounted themselves very well here in Louisville against the #2 team in the country. Dickerson, you may remember him from his playing days in Maryland in the late 80s. He was the Tulane head coach, and then a Thad Matta assistant at Ohio State. Took a year off, and Dan, he told us at shoot-around today he was ready to kind of go to a mid-major, low-major school and really rebuild something, and you have no better opportunity than USC Upstate.
Well, and he's had success with this kind of thing before. His first couple of years at Tulane, he sort of turned that program around. They were rolling, and then Hurricane Katrina hit, and neither he nor that program, he ended up losing his job, and that program hasn't really recovered since. We're talking about where do they play? Well, they play in the Big South, and there's 11 teams, and they were picked to finish last. Of course, we recognize those names. Radford, Gardner-Webb have had success recently in the NCAA tournament. Winthrop, long-time NCAA tournament. UNC Asheville, High Point. So that's a very solid league, and it's a tough league to be really as young as he is.
And this is only the second season that Dickerson has been with the Spartans, and it's only the second season that they've been in the Big South. So, again, they have 14 players that are freshmen or sophomores. Another great feed from McMahon. Wow, he is really doing it all in this first half.
And the last time it was they came out to guard him with shooting threes. That time the Spartans just lost Kimball. If you're going to give McMahon that much vision, that much room, he's going to find somebody.
Shot clock winding down again. 5 on the timer. Great spin move, got the shot away, but Wara altered it just enough and pulled down the board. McMahon faked a transition 3. The head fake is really where he has improved his game. Just couldn't get the pass to finish that.
He needed to shoot that ball. You know, you get that close to the basket, you need to shoot it. Particularly if you shoot free throws like he does.
Cardinals still on a 13-2 run here. But Chris Mack in year 2 as well, same as Dave Dickerson, just on the other sideline, has already gotten his program to the number 2 team in the country, highest ranking since 2013. How has he gotten Louisville back, quote unquote, so quickly?
Well, I don't know that he's gotten them back really quickly. He's a very good coach, first of all. He's one of the top coaches in the country. He is not only very smart, but he's unbelievably competitive. He's as fiery a guy as you'll meet. But let's be honest, he had some really good players here. You know, Perry was here, Wara was here, McMahon was here, and his staff built on that. They put together a really good year last year. They added a great recruiting class this year. And remember, this is a program with as much tradition as any program in the country.
Oh, absolutely. And these fans expect a number 2 next to the name of Louisville. It's just been a while since they've actually had it. Jordan Wara rocks the rim again.
Part of the problem for the Spartans, on the one end, they're taking highly contested shots at the end of the shot clock, and recently they're giving up layups on the other end.
Wara picks the pocket. Kimball gives it right back to him. And back-to-back baskets for Jordan Wara. And Dave Dickerson says, give me a timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds as well, as Louisville has really started to click. Yeah, the Cardinals can put up points in a hurry on a 17-2 run. Let's take another look at this dunk, Dan. So much power. He was actually looking down at his hand after he threw it down.
That's what happens when you dunk it that hard. You're going to hurt yourself on the rim.
Well, the ACC preseason player of the year has 11 of the Cardinals' 21 points to start this game.
Louisville doing a great job helping one another, talking to one another on defense.
Much needed 3. That ends a huge drought. It had been more than 2.5 minutes since Upstate saw the ball go to the bottom of the net.
Well, and that's Thomas Booker, and he comes off the bench. He had knee surgery on each knee last year, but he comes in the game this year, and he is not afraid at all.
That was his first touch of the game, and it ends up being a 3.
When Booker gets the ball, he's looking to score.
Upstate has not spent a lot of time inside the three-point line. Booker another 3, this time way off the mark. It'll be Louisville basketball.
If you're going to shoot threes, that's one thing if they're open threes, but Louisville really hotly contesting a lot of these three-point opportunities, and you know, there are very few shots that are more difficult than a contested 3. Keep in mind that you saw the Spartans 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. They made their first 2, so only one for the last 6. Yes. But their game is not built on three-point shooting, so you make your first couple of threes of the game. That's a little bit of fool's gold.
There's the freshman Sam Williamson getting into the act. There's a young player that Cardinal fans are really excited about.
He has such a smooth game and a seemingly very even-tempered demeanor. He has all the tools to be a spectacular player.
It's been a relentless defense from Louisville, but that time USC Upstate with Josh Aldridge able to penetrate and get a bucket.
Well, that was just a good, tough play because that was solid defense by Sutton. He got trapped on the side, managed to get around in front, but still, that's just better offense.
This is the grad transfer, fresh Kimball with a fresh pass, but Dwayne Sutton could not get the finish.
Time out on the floor.
Louisville back in the driver's seat, leading by 8 as we step aside. Sunday doubleheader on the ACC Network. First, women's basketball. You can see the #1 team in the country, Oregon, take on Syracuse. That's at 4 o'clock. And then after, you get Louisville's next game Sunday against Akron. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app as An ACC Network doubleheader brings you a lot of great action, including, you got to check out this stat. Sabrina Ionescu, 19 triple-doubles. Louisville is one of the richest programs in the history of college basketball. They've only got 4. So Ionescu in action against Syracuse, her #1 Ducks, on the ACC Network, 4 o'clock Sunday. Cardinals leading by 8. He's Dan Bonner. I'm Jay Alter. What has impressed you most about this Cardinals team so far in the first half?
Well, their defense, their ability to keep South Carolina away from USC Upstate away from the basket has been impressive. But that being said, the Spartans are within 8.
I think they would have signed up for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've been losing by double digits to every Division I opponent they've played this season. Nevin Zink, that's a great take to the hoop, just couldn't get it down. Darius Perry lost the handle. Williamson open 3. Can't hit it. Great hustle. Dwayne Sutton has made a couple of those plays tonight. Gives Williamson a second chance. He misses it again. Spartans in transition. Really haven't been able to capitalize on any fast break points so far tonight. But Booker's come into this game. That's his second make, and don't look now. It's just a 2-possession game.
Well, when Booker comes in, he's looking to shoot the ball. He doesn't hesitate. Now a little zone here for the Spartans.
Risky to play zone against the hottest shooting team in the entire country.
Now, a lot of their shooting is based on movement, and one of the reasons you play a zone is to disrupt the movement.
McMahon, and somehow the iron so kind it ends up going down.
That's a home rim. It's a home rim.
Oh, Ryan McMahon with his 3rd 3, shooting better than 60% from beyond the arc of the season.
He showed you he's more than a catch-and-shoot guy there. He pump fake, got the defender out of the way, took his time, and knocked it down.
Has a couple of nice passes tonight, too, but there's your answer the other way. Bryson Mazzone, the sophomore, a confident stroke, and it's just back to a 6-point edge.
And Mazzone is another one of those guys. He wants to shoot the ball. He is not shy.
I'll tell you what, this team, they have not come in and been intimidated by the #2 ranking. That one rattles in and out for McMahon.
And Louisville's offense a little stagnant right at the moment.
Great feed. Booker again, catch and shoot. This time it doesn't drop.
Sutton is everywhere on the boards, isn't he?
Every loose ball, Sutton has been quick. He's got 6 rebounds already, a couple of those offensive.
Now, I didn't get that one, but he had his hands on it. Zink with a really nice job battling inside. Zink is really the only guy with any size and bulk they have.
If you're Dave Dickerson, you have to be thrilled, and a big roar from the crowd as Malik Williams goes to the scorer's table. We have not seen him this entire season. He's been dealing with a metatarsal injury. Offensive rebound gives the Spartans another chance. Mazzone nails it. Bryson Mazzone makes this a 1-possession game.
That was really a nice play by Zink. He went flying through there, and he didn't get the rebound, but he created the opportunity for Aldridge to get the rebound, and the result is a 3.
Inside to Enoch. That's his game.
And that's exactly what they have to do. That is the one play that USC Upstate simply cannot guard. They've got no defense for that.
At 6'10", that's an easy shot every single time they go inside. A travel means we take a break, and that means when we come back, we very well could see Malik Williams in this game. But right now, it's Ryan McMahon, 3 threes, and he's got Louisville up by 5. While we were away, the KFC Yum Center crowd gave a standing ovation to the senior football players here at Louisville, and for good reason. The Cardinals bowl eligible in year 1 under Scott Satterfield. You can catch their final home game of the season against Syracuse right here on the ACC Network at 4 o'clock, and then our primetime football game This week is Duke and Wake Forest every Saturday, ACC Network and the ESPN app. Wall-to-wall football, and now you get basketball into the mix. We have to point out number 5, Malik Williams, seeing his first court time of the season. And he's back a little bit of a surprise ahead of schedule. Chris Mack said he practiced yesterday, and he practiced so hard and so well that if the opportunity presented itself, they try and get him on the court, and here he is.
Well, he had a screw inserted into the 5th metatarsal on his right foot on September the 23rd, and he's expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. So we're about on that schedule. He's been participating in non-contact drills for a while. He was cleared to practice full November the 15th, and here he is. He carried that one. And there's no question that Malik Williams is going to have a little bit of rust. He's been working to keep himself in shape in terms of his cardiovascular conditioning, but that's a different thing than being able to run up and down the court and cut and jump in a basketball game. So this type of game gives him an opportunity to knock some of the rust off.
That time it bounced right around him, couldn't scoop it up, and it leads to an Upstate bucket with Nevin Zink inside.
And Zink just continues to work really hard. He outmaneuvered Williams on the inside that time.
Williams demanding the ball inside, posting up on Zink. Foul called against Jordan Wara. Coming up at halftime, we'll take you around the ACC. 4 teams ranked to the top 7 right now. And then Jordan Cornette in the studio will tell you which of the ACC team is his to beat this season. All coming up at the State Farm halftime report.
But unsurprisingly, USC Upstate has been able to get in the game. They started shooting 3 of 6, then they went 2 for 15. They're 3 of their last 6. So when they don't turn the ball over and they shoot it, they have been able to put some pressure on Louisville.
It's a 1-possession game, almost 18 minutes into it. Dan, we're man enough to admit it. Nobody really could have seen this coming the way the Spartans have played so far this season.
Well, and what you see from Louisville, there's their offense, and it may be by design because they have advantages, man-to-man advantages at almost every position, but they're taking and trying to drive the ball to the basket. Their offense has really worked very well so far this year with a lot of passing and movement. You pass, you cut, you pass, you screen away. And we haven't really seen a lot of that here in the first half, particularly lately as they've tried to attack off the dribble. Now, this is the 3rd leading free throw shooting team in the ACC, and that's when you shoot free throws like that, that has the coaches all with their heads down.
Now, this is not what Chris Mack expected. It's not like Louisville's playing poorly. I think you just have to say this is definitely the best basketball, no doubt about it, that Upstate has played all season long. Tommy Bruner back into the game. He had a cut under his left eye, now with a bandage on it. Gets the ball here. The freshman started the game fearless with a 3, chucks up another, can't connect. Malik Williams gets the rebound, but he gives it right away and commits a foul. That's the rust we were talking about.
Well, you got to give him some credit because he was trying to get the fast break started, but he never saw the defender. When you're trying to make an outlet pass, you have to turn and you've got to look first. You just don't automatically throw the ball. And you got to, he's got the right idea. They want to get out and go, but he's got to make sure the coast is clear first. And of course, Louisville, we talked about their tradition. Was there ever a better guy throwing an outlet pass in the history of basketball than Wes Unseld?
No doubt about it. Williams skying for that one, can't rip down the ball. Open 3, would have made it a 1-point game instead of miss. Sutton, another rebound. He has 8 in this first half. He's dominated the glass. Louisville has just not dominated the game. They have not looked like the number 2 team in the country should in this first half. Wara 3, he buries it. That's more like it.
Well, one of the things that you have to say, Jay, is you're not going to shoot the ball at a 56% clip in every game. And so when you're not shooting the ball well, what else are you doing? And so far, Louisville's defense has been very intense.
That's been a positive. I would agree with you. You're not going to shoot it at 56%. I think Louisville expected to shoot the ball very well just based on how USC Upstate had been playing coming into this game.
Well, and based on that statement, I think you're right, but you've got to give a lot of credit to the Spartans here. They just have not backed off.
Not at all. They played incredibly tough. Under 50 seconds left. Bruner fading away, just rims out.
The other thing that they've done for the most part, the Spartans, is they've been able to get back on defense to prevent Louisville from getting a lot of transition opportunities. When the Cards were rolling midway through the first half, they were getting some opportunities in transition, but the Spartans have cut that off.
Dwayne Sutton fouled after he grabbed his 9th rebound.
And once again, Sutton, where is he? Well, he's right around the boards. You say, well, okay, the ball came right to him. Well, the ball comes right to him a lot because he knows the right place to be.
He puts himself in perfect position time and time again. Inside to Wara, keeps it alive, misses the layup, but taps it in.
Boy, he's really something. Hurried the shot a little bit, but bounced right back up and tipped it in.
17 points. He has half the Cardinals scoring in this first half, and it's the largest lead of the game for Louisville.
Well, you just keep guarding, and eventually good things are going to happen.
And the shooting has not been at their standard, but the defense has bailed them out. A deep three, and it falls for Upstate. That's kind of been the story of this first half. Shot clock winding down, and Bryson Mozone delivers a huge three to make it a 6-point lead for Louisville at halftime. Cardinals will take a 6-point lead into halftime as we step aside. Upstate, credit them, a terrific first half here in Louisville. Center second half action just minutes away. Louisville, the #2 team in the country, only up by 6 headed into the second half alongside Dan Bonner. I'm Jay Alter. And Dan, if you want a recipe to try and keep it close with a team like Louisville, knock down your threes, and that's what Upstate's done tonight.
Well, anytime you have a team who's trying to pull an upset, the three-point shot becomes a big factor. That three-point shot is a great equalizer, and Upstate is a team that only shoots 25% from beyond the arc. But they've made 6 of 12 here. They made 10 field goals in the first half. 6 of them were from beyond the three-point arc, and guys who just don't shoot a very high percentage. Bruner knocks that one down. Are really playing well. Here you get another three-pointer. That's from Dalvin White. And once the threes started to fall, they tried throughout the entire first half to get the ball inside. They had very little success, but there Bruner drives it to the basket. Aldridge had a really tough play. This isn't bad defense. This is just a really good, tough play by Aldridge. And then toward the end of the half, it was Mozone knocking down a three as well. But the story for Louisville has been Jordan Wara. He's got 17 points, which is half the points for Louisville. He's done it by getting out and running. He's made a three. He scored in mid-range. He has been the Jordan Wara we've come to expect, but hadn't had much balance for Louisville tonight. Wara, the only guy in double figures.
Which is uncharacteristic so far this season for this Louisville team, because the depth and the balanced scoring is why so many people across the country think so highly of this Cardinals team.
Well, and their ability to play defense, and I thought their defense was okay in the first half, but it has to be combined with their ability to put the ball in the basket. They were only 4 of 12 shooting the threes in the first half. That's 33%. They're 44% on the year, so that's way down. They shot only 48% from the field. They shoot 57 on the year, so it's just been a struggle shooting the ball in the first half for Louisville, and what they've got to do is use their defense to get themselves better opportunities.
I want to show you this because Cancel Out True McConnell, which sounds more like a law firm than a basketball program. These games have not been close. The Division I games for USC Upstate, a combined loss of 72 points in their 4 losses, and yet starting this second half, a 2-possession game. Just a tremendous effort in that first half.
Well, if you're Louisville, you just keep grinding away. You've got better talent and you need to get better shots.
Tried to go inside. That's where they have a huge height advantage with Stephen Enoch, but the ball was knocked loose.
That's got to be tough.
Mozone. And he knocks it down. Back-to-back threes if you go back to the final shot of the first half for Bryson Mozone. And he's up to 12 points.
Well, that was a turnover, and we saw Louisville take advantage of turnovers in the first half to get some transition threes. A transition three is hard to guard. And obviously part of the discussion, at least at halftime from Louisville, was to get the ball inside, because the first two possessions for the Cardinals, we've seen the ball go in there to Enoch. This time he's going to get to the free throw line. The last time Hammond knocked the ball away from him.
Only 2 points for the redshirt senior Enoch. He's one of 4 fifth-year guys for Chris Mack's Louisville team this season. He wants to rely on that veteran depth if they're going to have the season they want to.
Louisville's a team that gets to the line. They only attempted 4 free throws in the first half.
It's funny, you look at the score and you say, well, Louisville didn't play all that well. Watching the game, they actually looked pretty good. It's just the score, because of the three-point shots, really didn't equate to that. Obviously, they didn't play their best. I just wouldn't say they played poorly.
Well, they had, I thought, a really good defensive stretch for about 8 minutes in the first half. And when they played the defense that way, that's when they were able to stretch out the lead.
They call Wara for a foul. That's his second. Don't know if he actually did get a piece of Everett Hammond there, but nonetheless, the sophomore steps to the foul line.
And Roger Ayers is telling him he doesn't want to hear any more of it.
Want to take another look at this, though.
Well, USC Upstate continues to try to get the ball inside, and that's their game. They want to get the ball close to the basket, and they've got some guys who can maneuver in there, Hammond being one of them. You know, they only took 2 free throws in the first half, so Louisville was pretty good keeping them out of there without fouling.
And it's back to a one-possession game. Right back to Enoch. That's been the theme of the second half. He's directing traffic with 10 seconds to shoot. Takes it himself. Wave off the basket. The foul was on the floor. First foul against Nevin Zink tonight. You've been really impressed with the sophomore inside. He's been really tough.
He has played hard. And that's really all you can ask a guy to do. Enoch is not a big assist guy. When he gets the ball, you got to attack him, try and force him to make a pass.
There's McMahon in traffic. He lost the ball.
Much dribbling.
And a charge going the other way. Darius Perry got back. And Dalvin White stays down.
Boy, he landed hard. Perry gets himself in position, and White fearlessly, he just goes right to the basket. He's not worried about anything except going to the goal. That is a bang-bang play in transition. He landed right on that elbow. Seems to be okay. He's shaking it off.
Right back to defense. Quiet night for Perry. He has 0 points. Enoch has gotten a touch on every possession. This time comes up empty.
Well, he has, and he hadn't really done much with it. He's had a turnover. He missed a short shot that time.
They just keep forcing it inside to him, though. This is Everett Hammond. Big man, great defense. Great passing, though. Open three. White can't knock it down. Wara in transition. Keeps it himself all the way coast to coast. Jordan Wara.
Boy, he is really good in transition, and he's got that ability to sort of bend his body in unconventional ways, put it in the goal.
He still has half the Cardinals scoring with 19 points in the 38. Foul called inside. They got a mismatch, trying to take advantage of it with Nevin Zink, who now goes to the foul line. It was Dwayne Sutton who committed his first foul of the night.
The first thing that Zink did was set an outstanding screen. And USC Upstate, they took the ball off the screen very hard, and Enoch had to come out and much further than he wanted to come out to help, and that left Zink open on the screen and roll.
We started the show and said it's not Dave Dickerson and USC Upstate's job to compete with Louisville tonight. Their job is to compete in the Big South. Fact of the matter is, for 20-plus minutes, they have competed with Louisville. How much confidence will this give them going forward?
Well, I think, they've played some tough games, and one of the things that Dave Dickerson and his staff have done is accentuate the positive for them. They haven't looked at the bad plays in their previous games. They've looked at the good plays. And so I think it's helped the guys develop some confidence. That's just a poor play by McMahon right there.
Well, that's a positive that'll be clipped. Another caused turnover by USC Upstate, and it leads to another 2 foul shots. Darius Perry called for that one.
Think back to the first half when every time USC Upstate had the ball, it seemed like the shot clock was at 3 or 4 seconds. And we haven't seen that particularly in the second half because Louisville has been very sloppy with the ball. And as a result, the Spartans have been able to get out and run and get some quick shots and get to the free throw line.
They forced Louisville into 3 turnovers already in this second half. That's really uncharacteristic of a veteran, balanced team that is really careful with the basketball. And just like that, Everett Hammond makes this a 1-point game. Here's Perry, goes inside to Enoch, like they've done on every possession in the second half. And this time, Stephen Enoch capitalizes.
That was really a good catch inside by Enoch because I didn't think that was a perfect pass from Perry.
This Cardinals crowd into a roar, trying to get this team going. It's been a lackluster second half. It stays with the Spartans. When we come back, Louisville having a tough time tonight. Credit USC Upstate not making things easy here in Louisville. He's Dan Bonner, I'm Jay Alter. This is a game that number 2 Louisville did not expect to be a 1-possession game in the second half, but you look at our game summary, Dan, and it's simple. USC Upstate, they've taken threes and they've made half of them.
Well, they're making threes, and the other thing that's happening is they forced 3 Louisville turnovers here in the first 4 minutes of this half, and they've been able to convert them into baskets. Louisville's still shooting a very high percentage, but they're turning it over. They're not getting shots.
10 seconds to shoot. Trying to tie this game at 40, and they do. Everett Hammond drills the 3, and like a bad case of the flu, USC Upstate just will not go away.
And Everett Hammond, he is a 16% three-point shooter on the year.
And that was a contested 3 as well. Jordan Wara can't get that bucket to drop.
Now Louisville's got to tighten it up on the defensive end and try to create some transition opportunities.
Last lead for Upstate was when they were leading 8-7. Trying to go up front here, they can't. Do you get the sense that Louisville's pressing? This is a
well,
game
they very well could be. You know, this is a game they're supposed to win. The other team is playing pretty well, but it's a good learning experience for this Louisville team.
Freshman Sam Williamson leaves it short. Upstate doing a nice job getting in transition. Up the court very quickly. Scoop to the hoop. Everett Hammond, and the Spartans jump in front.
And you made the point. They got the ball up the court very quickly. Louisville's defense reacted, but they all reacted to the baseline, and USC Upstate did a nice job finding openings.
Trying to rely on the ACC preseason player of the year. Wara has been terrific tonight with 19 points, but that three off the mark.
I thought that was a little bit of a force. And we talked about USC Upstate. You see they get all the white shirts down around the baseline, and then nobody can react back to defend the play. And yeah, it's an amazing score right at the moment. USC Upstate leads by 2.
Dave Dickerson has his USC Upstate Spartans leading by 2 at the KFC Yum Center against number 2 Louisville. You look at the results, nobody expected them to be even close to in this game. They've got 4 losses by a combined 72 points, and yet some mental toughness. They have come to play for every second of this contest.
And the longer they stay in this game, the more confidence they play with, and you're seeing it right there. They've got a little bit of pep in their step.
Another hard take to the hole and a foul drawn by Nevin Zink.
Hard take is exactly right. Evan Zink has really played hard. He's played with tremendous intensity all night long. We've talked about their three-point shooting. The Spartans haven't missed a free throw tonight. They're 8 for 8.
And in the second half, they've done a really nice job getting to the foul line. Only attempted 2 foul shots in the entire first half. And of course, Dan has to go and jinx the poor Spartans. And we showed you their schedule. Louisville beat that same NC Central team that they lost to by 29 just 3 days ago. That's college basketball, everybody. That's why they play the games. Cardinals in a funk offensively, just trying to figure things out. Jordan Wara has 19 points for the Cardinals. Who can step up to help the ACC preseason player of the year? That's not Stephen Enoch's shot.
Well, he can make that, but you would prefer that he be down on the inside in this particular situation. Enoch hadn't made a 3 this year, but he's capable of making it from out there. Just not in that situation.
3 seconds to shoot. Hammond fires. This time can't connect.
So now I think when you get the ball, you got to push.
And Chris Mack, right on cue, urging his team forward.
Well, if you're struggling against the set defense, try to figure out ways to play against the defense before they can get set.
Why do you think they're struggling against the set defense?
Well, they're not shooting the ball well.
Dwayne Sutton buries that one.
They've turned it over. They haven't shot it well, but a couple of those, and you're right back on track.
That's his first 3 of the game. 5 points and 10 rebounds, and the crowd rises to its feet.
This is really the first time we've experienced the atmosphere that you have in the Yum Center.
Let's see how Upstate handles it, and they turn it over. Here's Wara. Takes it himself, and draws the foul.
And that was a good decision by Jordan Wara to take it himself. He's ahead of his teammates, and they're not really helping him much by spacing out to the corners. And we've seen already tonight how well he finishes in transition. When he gets going like that, there's very little you can do except get in front of him and try to take a charge.
Wara hits 20 for the 4th time this season.
And when your team's struggling, you expect your best guy to carry you for a while until his teammates get rolling.
He has done exactly that. And the crowd decides to roar them on once more. Maybe something they didn't expect as they entered the KFC Young Center, but they're there when they need it most. Mozone, great feed, blocked at the rim. Steven Enoch, a rejection. Three, McMahon, he drills it.
The game is easier when the ball goes in the basket. And Louisville that time, they forced a turnover and got a couple of free throws out of it. That time, the blocked shot. And we said Ryan McMahon is the guy who can score in the three-point range in transition.
And that's more like it for Louisville. The Cardinals go from down 3 to up 5 in just a minute.
But it's based on defense. A great block by Steven Enoch. And then Ryan McMahon trailing the play. You have to find him in transition. So, yes, the defense has picked up, but Louisville has also made 2 free threes and knocked down 2 free throws in the last couple of minutes.
And that was McMahon's 4th 3 of the night. He continues to shoot lights out from deep.
Now that little offensive spurt, you can see the defensive intensity is really picked up.
Into Enoch. Cardinals trying to continue this groove, but a foul is called.
And they decided to attack Enoch that time, and you have to, but you don't want to commit the foul. Very few fouls, actually, in this game.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Darius Perry in traffic. Enoch! The follow slam, but it won't count. In the cylinder.
Yeah, it was in the cylinder. I thought that time that Ryan McMahon was a little bit of a spectator, that he didn't go into a spot where Perry could find him. And that ball's clearly on the rim.
USC Upstate has punched back all night long. Louisville 8-0 run. Let's see what the Spartans have. Open 3.
And there's that punch back. I thought they were in a little bit of a danger zone where they have to respond because Louisville was getting out and they were ready to roll. Aldridge, one of their better three-point shooters.
Right back to a 2-point game. McMahon, a 3. He's got 5 triples tonight.
Well, at some point, you're going to have to make him dribble the ball. You just cannot let him catch it and shoot it.
McMahon and Wara have 36 of the Cardinals' 51. Perry tries a 3. He's got it!
Wow. And this is why Louisville is the number 2 ranked team in the country. They've got a lot of weapons, and when all the weapons are firing, they're tough.
It took a little while, but this is the Louisville team that has earned the number 2 ranking so far this season. And why so many think can make a deep run come March. Foul called.
Enoch has really had a problem on that screen up at the top of the key. That time he committed the foul. White that time did a really good job attacking him, forcing him to react. So he's going out of the game. Malik Williams, who we saw for a little bit in the first half. This is his first action of the season after that fracture of his 5th metatarsal, which he had repaired in September.
His first game action after 3 minutes of that first half. Didn't really do too much, but just trying to shake that rust off. A defensive assignment here against Zink. Travel call.
That's really good defense right there. And that's what we have seen from Louisville at times. The defensive pressure really causes problems for USC Upstate.
Upstate was leading 43-40 in this game. Since then, a 14-3 Cardinals run as Louisville, it took a little while, has finally found their groove. Wara attacks the basket, didn't really get a clean look there.
Well, he was looking for a foul and didn't get it.
Transition three, Hammond can't connect.
Boy, there's another rebound by Sutton.
It's a career high, 12 rebounds for the redshirt senior. The Louisville, Kentucky native has dominated the class tonight. Into Malik Williams, can't find his first points of the season. Sutton there again, and he draws the foul. He has been terrific tonight.
He has a knack for being around the basketball. Got whacked across the nose that time.
So career high in rebounds for Sutton tonight. But sometimes when you have a clunky game like this, you need a player like that to do the little things and keep possessions alive. Saturday, we'll have a college football doubleheader for you right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Louisville, now bowl-eligible Cardinals, taking on Syracuse at 4 Eastern, followed up at 7:30. Duke and Wake Forest at our ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. All games live on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. And you want to talk about star freshman Javian Hawkins, third in rushing yards in the ACC, over 1,000 Cardinal fans very happy with the way the football team has played, and as of the last 2 minutes, they're pretty happy with the basketball team too.
Boy, what a play.
And guess who? Dwayne Sutton again, making all the hustle plays tonight.
He's also got 4 assists in the game. That was an opportunity. 2 of the Cards were down on the court, and that was an opportunity that if they could have gotten the ball to an open shooter, they had a wide open one. McMahon and Perry both go down. McMahon's hurt a little bit, but White is wide open.
And McMahon comes out of the game, and guess who comes in? David Johnson, another Cardinal who has not played so far this season, had shoulder surgery July 30th, has missed the start to the season. So if you're Louisville, 2 key players on the court right now that you have not seen this season with Malik Williams and David Johnson.
Everybody's happy to see him here in the KFC Yum Center.
Well, credit USC Upstate for 30 minutes in this game that nobody gave them a chance, and they went punch for punch with the #2 team in the country. Even now, only trailing by 10, but Dan Bonner, Louisville on a 16-3 run.
And it's very simple. Louisville picked up the defensive pressure. They started to make shots on the offensive end, and Dwayne Sutton has really been a big factor. You can see 7 points to go along with a career-high 13 rebounds, but he's got 4 assists. He's got a couple of steals. He's done everything you could ask of him today.
Cardinals came into the game the best shooting team in the country. The shot has failed them at times tonight, but on this run, they've made 5 of 7 from the floor.
And they were really impressed with the way David Johnson was performing in their summer workouts, and they're very anxious to have him back here.
His first game action of the season after rehabbing from a left shoulder injury. Williamson, the freshman, can't connect on a 3. Enoch, the offensive rebound. You thought Louisville had depth before. Chris Mack decides to take a timeout with Enoch stuck in the corner. You had Johnson and Malik Williams back to the mix, and this Louisville team gets even deeper, even stronger, justifying that #2 ranking in the polls right now. You can catch the huddle right here on the ACC Network Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as they get you ready for a Saturday slate again at 11 a.m. Saturday morning. If you want to talk ACC football, no better way to do it than the huddle on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. For better or for worse, Chris Mack strives for perfection with this team. He'll have certainly to talk about with how they've played. Only a 10-point lead against the Spartans team, but
well, you said it, Jay. You called it a clunky game. You're not going to play your best game every game. And certainly you don't want to be playing your best basketball in November. Louisville has their sights set very high. And so you've got to go through some things. You've got to go through a little adversity. You have to deal with some issues every once in a while out on the court. And so, yeah, they haven't played as well as they wanted to tonight, but they fought through it, and they now have a 10-point lead. Let's see if they can close it out.
Can't hit the three. I was going to ask you, what will frustrate a coach like Coach Mack the most with the way they've played so far tonight?
Well, I think he's probably going to be irritated with their execution. They have had some problems offensively in particular, and there are times where the guys have gotten away from them defensively. But again, you're not going to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect, and you're not going to play your best basketball every time out. So the key is, can you win a game when you don't play well?
And right now leading by 10. How about that? Just into the game, David Johnson, his first basket of the season. It's a slam and a timeout for Dave Dickerson.
Wow, this is a set play where he just goes off the screen of Enoch, and there's Bruner who just lost him out there. They talk about this kid's physical skills, and you certainly saw them on display right there.
Quite a way to make an entrance in the 2019-2020 season. And the fans are really excited to finally have him on the court. A much anticipated debut.
Well, it's going to take, as we said in the first half, it's going to take both he and Malik Williams a while to get themselves in playing shape and to fit themselves into this rotation. Remember, this rotation without them is the #2 team in the country. And so a lot of people talk about, well, you got to make adjustments when you lose guys, but you also have to make adjustments when those guys come back. And so that's one of the challenges that's going to face Louisville will face now.
Johnson, local kid, went to Trinity High School here in Louisville, ESPN 100 player. And seeing his first court time, now called into defense after he threw down that alley-oop. Louisville picks his pocket. Williamson with a flush.
You're not going to see better individual on-the-ball defense than Jordan Wara just showed you. Williamson gets the dunk, a really nice assist by Perry, but it was Jordan Wara who made that play with just outstanding defense.
The 20-3 run now for Louisville. I think you just said it, Dan. It's the defensive intensity that's led to this run.
A lot of people talk about moving your feet on defense, and that's exactly what Jordan Wara did, and finally reached in there and poked it away, and Darius Perry, recognizing that he had a man ahead of him, just flips the ball out there.
Scoop and score for the Cardinals, who now lead by 14, their largest lead of the night. Mozone, tough finish, muscling his way inside for 2.
Mozone is a guy who can put some points on the board. He's been impressive tonight. You look at Mozone and Zink. Dalvin White has held his own out there tonight. Bruner has made a couple of baskets. This is a team that has some potential. Remember, they're very young.
Jordan Wara rocks the rim. He's up to 23.
We saw that play a couple of times in the first half. And Louisville back to a really good offensive execution. But the key has been here on the defensive end.
Another contested shot. Zink bounced around and will stay with the Spartans.
It looks like Zink maybe turned his ankle or has a cramp or something. It was a contested shot, but it was a shot by Booker. And when Booker has come in the game, Booker has been fearless. He comes in the game and he shoots the ball.
Immediately as well. Does not hesitate. Zink tries the baseline jumper, comes up empty. scoring coming into the game, but really it's been Wara and McMahon that have paced the way for the Cardinals' victory tonight, assuming they can hold on. Wara fading away. Can't buy that bucket. Kept alive. Sutton, perfect position again.
Well, Wara and McMahon have carried the scoring load, but the key guy tonight, I think, has been Dwayne Sutton. 2 more offensive rebounds and finally the putback.
15 rebounds, extends his career high in that category, up to 9 points as well. He really has been terrific tonight. Foul on the floor.
I think they got Wara hanging on. No, it's Steven Enoch. The battle between Enoch and Zink has really been an intense one. As we've mentioned, Zink has done a really nice job. He has held his own in there.
Yeah, credit the sophomore from Newtown, Connecticut. He has not backed down from Steven Enoch, another Connecticut native.
And Zink has played a lot of minutes.
He's practically played the whole game, 34 minutes for the sophomore. This is the front end of the 1-and-1.
Well, where USC Upstate had a lot of success early in the half was forcing turnovers.
Great pass, and the finish there, Malik Williams into the scoring column with his first basket of the season.
That's great movement off the ball. You're not going to force any turnovers when you get movement like that and a pass like that. But the turnovers and the three-point baskets were a big key.
How about Williams on the defensive end? Trying to take it the whole way.
Oh, gee.
Comes up gingerly, walking it off. Gives a thumbs up to Coach Mack.
Well, he came down on that right foot, and that's the foot that with which he had the problem.
Coming back from that broken metatarsal, his first game action. The hustle has been terrific. Hopefully he's okay. While we were away, the officials took another look at this and upgraded the foul on Bryson Mozone to a flagrant 1.
Well, one of the things with a flagrant 1 is it's not just contact that's excessive. It's excessive and or unnecessary and not a legitimate effort to play the ball. And there the last one comes into 2, a hold or push from behind. Remember that the flagrant 1 is sort of a descendant of the old intentional foul. And the old intentional foul was put in to protect players on exactly that kind of play. So I think that's a very good decision on the part of the referees. The flagrant 1 penalty, of course, the guy who's fouled gets 2 shots, and then Louisville gets the ball.
In all of Cardinals Nation, they were worried for a couple of seconds as Malik Williams came up very gingerly after that flagrant foul. He seems to be doing just
he's going to
fine.
come out of the game now. You know, Chris Mack interested in getting the rust off, but he's not interested in getting that young man hurt again.
His first game action since that broken metatarsal.
No, that was absolutely the correct call.
Aiden Gahan, his first touch of the game, and he slams it home.
And he just came in the game from Malik Williams, and that was a great play they ran for him. And that kid, he doesn't have a lot of basketball savvy at the moment, but he's got a lot of skills.
He's got a lot of size, too.
Yeah.
Nicknamed the Irish Hulk. And he can throw it down. That's one thing he can do.
He would be look at that body. He would be a Hulk in any nationality.
Yeah, exactly. The Cubs overseas from Dublin.
And that's a first basket in a while for the Spartans.
And they have faded down the stretch here. In large part to the Cardinals making hustle plays like that. Wara somehow keeps it alive, throws it up, and it goes down. Jordan Wara up to 25.
What a play by Kimball.
Booker a 3, goes begging.
Now Louisville has weathered the storm tonight.
For 30 minutes, this was a back-and-forth game, but it has been all Cardinals down the stretch, and Wara adds 3 more.
You don't play your best, but the question is, can you respond? And Louisville did. You know, a good team doesn't necessarily make all the plays, but they make the plays when they need them, and that's exactly what Louisville has done tonight.
It's a season high for Jordan Wara with 28.
But now this is, you get a screen, and Zink has been bouncing off people all night. And Wara got the ball because Kimball did a nice job diving on the floor and threw the ball from his backside to Wara. And Gahan, you know, and they say, and I guess we look gullible, but they told us this afternoon, did the Louisville people, that Gahan hasn't really lifted weights.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
Imagine how big he'll be when he does.
Yeah. A 24-point lead. 4 freshmen on the court now for Chris Mack, and this is a freshman class that was ranked in the top 10. The good thing is for this Louisville team, they're not forced into playing their young players because of the depth they have.
They've got experienced guys, older guys, talented older guys. So the freshmen, of course, want to play and will play, but you don't have to throw them to the Wolves early.
And now 5 freshmen on the court as David Johnson comes back in for Fresh Kimball. So a glimpse of the future in the final minute of this game with the victory wrapped up.
And the final score isn't going to really tell you how close this game was.
And look at the Spartans still fighting in the final minute. They came in and played for a full 40 minutes. One thing you cannot question is the effort tonight.
Oh, and I don't think that if you've watched USC Upstate play this year, you couldn't question the effort in any of the games. They just have not been able, they've turned the ball over, they shot it poorly in the previous games. Tonight they shot it very well, they forced some turnovers, and so they hung in there for 30 minutes. It's a really good effort. But this is just a really good Louisville team.
Even when they don't play their best, still a 24-point lead. Johnson for another rack attack.
There you go, your first game action.
Well, it was not pretty, but Louisville ends this game on a 16-2 run to make it a comfortable win for the second-ranked Cardinals. 76-50 your final.
Are he going to sit between us?
When we come back, Chris Mack will join us. Louisville gets a victory on a 16-2 run.